to all, and thanks for joining me on another episode of MR Running Pains Podcast. My name is Aaron Saft, and let me start with an apology about last week's episode. Due to an error on my part, there was no intro or outro. Not sure why, but my apologies for that. I had a little interview with my kids in the intro, and I'm going to put that at the end of the episode because I really had a good time talking to them, and we talked some nerd running. It was a good time, so I'm going to put that at the end of the episode. So I hope you enjoy that. So this week, I want to talk about a few things. It's going to be a shorter episode, but I think pretty relevant and something I'd like to challenge you to do, and love to see your outcome of this. So please share that with me if you would, if you're comfortable with it. This was an idea that came about from another podcast that I was listening to. I'm going to talk about that in just a second, but I'd like to touch on a few housekeeping items before I do. So upcoming races, updates, and such. On September 12th, the Cradle to Grave 30K and 10K trail races have been moved. So you can still register, obviously, for that on Ultra Signup. And if you have any problems with that new date, please contact the race director. Contacts on Ultra Signup and on the website, cradletograverace.com. 1029, I had kind of thrown out there about the River Loop races, bringing those back, 24, 12, and 6-hour races at the farm. We did that 2 years ago on New Year's. This year, I'm going to do it Halloween weekend. And I'm kind of looking at the race calendar, still kind of tentative. So much is up in the air right now, and with so much moving to the fall, I don't know. I'm hesitant. I was going to make the race number smaller anyway, but with everything going on and the uncertainty, I may put it out there and just open registration, but not charge anybody just in case. We're still facing restrictions due to COVID, but we'll see. Jury's out on that one just yet. Hellbender is still scheduled for November 20th again. We're not sure. I spoke with my team last night and the nonprofit Run 828 Foundation, the board members, about the race, and again the level of uncertainty that we have. The wait list is starting to grow, and we have just over 150 registered right now. And I think what we're going to do is just we're going to hold off on charging people. So if a spot opens up due to somebody dropping out, we may offer the spot but not charge, just because, again, the uncertainty of what we face going forward due to restrictions, due to, will we have a second wave, obviously. We're kind of in a holding pattern for that. We're hoping things happen. We're definitely making plans for it as if it's going to happen, as to how do we keep everybody safe and follow guidelines that may be in place. So we're working on all that, but Hellbender's still planned for November 20th. Still looking for some volunteers, obviously. We're a ways out, but we hope people can join us and help us out with that event. December 5th is the Headwaters 30K trail race. Matt Kirby asked me to take this one over. Love this race out at Panther Town. It's amazing trails, amazing views, just amazing place to run. And what we did, Matt had opened registration. I was unaware of that. I just figured that out. The registration was open. It still is. I left it open, but again, what I did was I changed it so that Ultra Signup doesn't charge anybody. So you can sign up without fear of being charged, and if it doesn't happen that way, we don't have to worry about refunds. We don't have to worry about transfers, deferments, all that stuff like that. So registration is open if you do want to sign up for it. And if we can host the event, we certainly will. If we can't, then we're not at a loss anywhere for either side. And the same thing for Sali. I'm going to work on registration for Sali, the Sali Frosty Foot races, 50K, 30K, and 8K trail races. They're going to be January 23rd, 2021. Again, registration is going to open. I'll announce registration date coming here pretty soon. But again, I'm going to open registration without charging anybody, just in case of anything. So update on the races. Also thinking of creating a virtual training race series. So that would look like some potential races along the way, like kind of benchmark races, and we'd probably have an award for each if you complete it, and then it all leading up to a 50K. Maybe it's your first 50K, or maybe you just want to run a faster 50K. Or just train, for this 50K. So the plan is to have registration for this virtual event. And also, it would be included a training plan. Now, you don't have to have the training from me. You can just sign up for the races and get the swag. Looking at doing a Patagonia shirt and definitely some, like I said, some awards and maybe some other swag items for you guys. So stay tuned for that. That would be probably a 16-week program, and again, we'd have some benchmark races, 5K, 10K, potentially half marathon, and 50K along the way. So you could potentially earn up to 4 awards. Nothing's solid yet. I'm still working out the details, but I thought I had. Interested in hearing if you guys are interested in that. Let me know. And there'll be different levels of training. There'll be just kind of a cookie cutter training plan. If you just want that would be cheaper, obviously. Or my personalized training. We would train on a just like one of my athletes. You would get daily feedback. We'd work through training peaks. I treat you just like I treat you as my athlete, because you would be. So, so working on that. It's in the works. Coaching right now, doing well. I really appreciate all my athletes and their ability to keep training and keep working hard. And I do have spots open if anybody needs some assistance, just wanting to get faster, train those 5K legs and try to do a faster 5K right now, or even 10K, half marathon, whatever it is. It's I'm happy to be able to work with people. The other day I went out and did a hill repeat workout, and I was thinking about all this, training and everything, and I'm glad I'm still pushing. I think right now I need to keep training. I need to keep that normalcy, keep working, and kind of work through just like things were going to happen, and just keep my body engaged and keep it primed for when I can race again. So I'm happy I'm still doing it. I tried to make a video talking about doing hill repeats and how to incorporate that. Going through the video, and I definitely have some editing to do. And man, learning a podcast was one thing, but learning video editing and all that stuff, it's a whole nother level. So we'll see how that challenge goes. My son's trying to help me, which is it's humorous. So we'll see how that pops out. I may have to record again because it wasn't what I was looking for. But so stay tuned for that. FootRx. If you're in need of anything running, shoes, packs, whatever, apparel, just send me an email, runningpains@gmail.com. I've been going in each week and trying to fill orders. We also have two other people that are going in to fill orders as well. So if I can't get in there, then I'll forward on the email to our staff email. So you can also CC footrxstaff@gmail.com. footrxstaff@gmail.com. You can CC that email as well, just in case. But appreciate all those that have been supporting us in this time, because obviously we decided to be closed. At the shop, it was an easy decision for us. We did not want to put not only ourselves but our staff at risk for anything. We would have felt awful. Even with every safety provision that people are doing with curbside pickup and everything, we just felt that it would have been tough if someone got sick because of us, because we put them at risk. So we decided to close the shop and just do whatever we can. It's been small, incremental sales and stuff, but we're trying. The other side of this is another thing, but certainly appreciate all the support through this. So thank you. So kind of get into the bulk of today's episode. I'm a big podcast fan. I listen to a lot of different podcasts. Some ones recently have been great. I've really enjoyed the content that people are putting out. I really hope you've enjoyed what I've been doing here. But one of the podcasts, Running Rogue, ROGUE, Running Rogue, episode 181. It's titled "Navigating a Running Funk." Really enjoyed that episode. Some really good thoughts, questions to ask yourself. Like I was just talking about training. How to make it relevant to you when you feel like it's just like worthless. So I really enjoyed that episode. Have a listen there. Another one was the Tom Goom, GOOM, podcast. That one, Miriam, my last guest, my physical therapist, she made me aware of this episode. It's episode 40. It's titled "Changes in Running Injury Prevention." Really cool episode. I love hearing the updated research and thought. And everything has to be taken with a grain of salt. I just listened to another podcast yesterday, which had a physical therapist on, and that physical therapist stated the contrary, which was the kind of the if you will, the old thought pattern. The old research. She was still going off that. This physical therapist, whereas this they bring light to new research. In this episode by Tom Goom, and in this episode, really really cool stuff. So enjoyed listening to that, because we have to continue to think and expand our minds, because even what came out last year. They may be finding new things due to new technologies and research. And again, we have to take everything with a grain of salt. Is it correct? I'm sure you could find contrary research. But really, it makes you think, which is cool. So enjoyed that episode. Now again. This episode came from, I was listening to the Clean Sport Collective episode. If you follow me on Facebook, I posted this on various pages, my Instagram, about the pledge. I'm a huge advocate for clean sport. I believe in drug-free, an enhancement-free world of sport. Not just running, but in everything. It disheartened me to see a lot of my heroes from baseball test positive or come out that they had used performance-enhancing drugs to help them be better players. It's rampant in a lot of sports. Obviously we see it in cycling. We see it quite frequently in running. Not only sprints, but now we're seeing a ton of athletes testing positive or have questionable results. So there's a lot of appeals right now. I mean, here we are in the middle of this pandemic, and we're getting a bunch of positive tests. And so the Clean Sport Collective has a pledge, and it simply states, I will be a clean athlete. So I encourage you to go onto their website, and it's cleansport.org, and see that for yourself. Sign it if you're comfortable with it. Join that movement. It's great. I really enjoyed their podcast. They've had some really awesome guests on there recently. Edwin Moses. Edwin Moses was the 400-meter hurdler that was undefeated for 81 races or something incredible. And they had Jim Ryan, our first high schooler that broke 4 minutes. Just some really awesome guests. But the guest that really hit home and really has been a hero to me was Bob Kennedy. Bob Kennedy's podcast with them was, he mentioned in there, we've had this whole write a letter to your former self. Giving yourself advice to your former self. And he said, why don't we write a letter to our future self to remind us in the future not to do stupid stuff? And I mean, that makes more sense to me. I can't change what I did in the past. I can reflect. Yep, that's a valid measure. I can definitely reflect and hope to not make mistakes that I have. But it makes more sense for me to have a letter to myself in the future to remind myself what I've been through and what I hope I never do. Remind myself of things that I can work on. And so I did. I sat down and I wrote a letter to my future self, and I'd like to read that to you guys. I'm definitely a guy that is emotional. I'm passionate. I believe in sharing, and this was actually a really great exercise for myself. I encourage you guys to write a letter to yourselves. So, and if you're comfortable, share it. I'm going to post mine right in my office. So when I look up, I see it, and it reminds me on a daily basis. It reminds the future me, oh yeah, man, stay on the path, continue this journey. So let me read this, and bear with me here. To future me, as it stands, we're at a crossroads. Life has changed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. We'll most likely lose our business that we've built over the past 13 years. Ha! Almost have to laugh. Just realized that this would be our 13th anniversary. Fitting to perhaps see it go on such an anniversary. But that's us, isn't it? We take a chance, work hard, roll with the punches, and see what happens. That's running in a nutshell, isn't it? Running is a great metaphor for life, work, family, and relationships. As I write this, we're celebrating 30 years of running. God knows how many miles we have on our legs. We've celebrated victories, taken running to many levels, and followed our dreams. We've been to some amazing places and met people I hope we never forget. All while never taking performance-enhancing drugs or cheating the system, the course, our sport, or ourself. I hope as you read this that still holds true. We've got 2 amazing kids and the best wife that share this journey. We've tried to be an example of endurance, hard work, philanthropy, and love. I see our kids' potential. I hope we bring it out in them and help them along their path to finding their happiness in life. I hope we continue to love every living being and do our best to make a difference in our community, locally, nationally, and globally. We've helped to create a number of things that have such far-reaching impact. May we continue to learn, innovate, and evolve new and old ideas in the hopes that we create happiness and joy for others. I hope we continue to forge new relationships with others and collaborate in making new events, groups, trails, and ideas that are conceived with the love in our hearts and the purpose of spreading joy and happiness to all. We wear our heart on our sleeve. We don't hold back our emotions or our passion. We tell people we love them, and we mean it. May nothing ever perverse this. The world has always been jaded in some ways, but love shall always triumph. May we keep the burning passion for life, for its experiences and adventures, for it's the adventures that keep us young. What's next? What's the goal that has us excited? That's what we live for. I hope we keep pushing, keep exploring our boundaries and our potential. Aaron, we found ourselves a long time ago. When I look in the mirror, I can look at myself in the eye. Remain open, honest, trustworthy, and compassionate. Continue to work on your patience, listening to others, and asking for help. We're not perfect. We'll never be. However, we can always strive to be better and love deeper. We found our passion in life. We know what makes us happy. Follow your heart. It hasn't misled us yet. Pride has hampered us in the past. Don't let it cloud your judgment or inhibit your decisions. Let us continue to express our gratitude to the world. Find grace in every action and give thanks for every experience, the positive and the negative, as we can learn from each. And never stop learning. Keep engaging your mind. You have to keep up with your wife and your kids somehow. That said, smile and laugh at yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously. You're a small fish in a large open sea. Stay humble and remember that you're here to serve others. May we speak out when we see others wronged. Remember what it was like when we were wronged and no one stood up for us. As an individual, we may be weak, but as a collective group, together our voices are so much stronger. Stand united with your brothers and sisters for what is right and what is just. We've made mistakes, and we'll make more. It's whether we continue to learn from those mistakes and not make them over again. We've asked for forgiveness, and we forgive. May our hearts stay open and continue to see and bring the best out of people. Life is beautiful. Continue to take a moment of each day to appreciate your opportunity, then get out there and make the best of it. Remember the statement, own your dash. We'll have 2 dates on our gravestone. Those aren't truly important. That dash mark in between is the key. What we do in between those 2 dates, did we live? Did we make a difference? Keep moving forward, Aaron. Own that dash. Love. Love all without thought, judgment, or prejudice. Peace. Find peace without fear, negligence, or pompousness. Endure. So the final question. Did you stay true to yourself? Can you read back through these and say, yes, Aaron, I did. I hope so. I love you. Me. Sorry. As I said, I'm passionate. And I wear my heart on my sleeve. I do. I love all of you. I hope hope that you all own your dash. I believe that came from Brian Kantosh. He goes by Tosh. He has his own podcast. It's called Crooked Butterfly. I believe that's who said it. And it's one of those daily reminders. Seize the day. Carpe diem. I hope we can all make a difference somehow in somebody's life, if not just our own, but in others. Like I said, that was, you can tell it was tough to write in some parts. It made me think, made me repurpose, recommit. I'm gonna post that. I'll post it on my blog. And I'm going to post it on social media. Because it's a challenge. It's not only a challenge to live, but it's a challenge to make a difference. We have to choose sometimes to make a difference. To be better. To encourage others. To love others. I talked about in there how others didn't stand up when I was challenged. And when I grew up, it was tough at school. I was a skinny, white, redheaded kid, and I got picked on a lot. Bullying, it takes many forms, and I don't tolerate it when I see it anywhere. And when I'm coaching the kids, I don't just take it when I see cyberbullying. Don't get behind a keyboard and say something angry that you wouldn't say to somebody's face. It's like I said, maybe it's another topic, but stand up for what you believe. Encourage others to act, to do good. But most of all, love unconditionally. As I said, I forgive those that bullied me, picked on me, that beat me up. That was a long time ago. I hope those people have changed. I certainly have, and I hope it's for the better. And even if it's not, I'm going to keep working on it. I'm going to keep challenging myself to be better. I'm going to challenge my kids, my athletes, to be better. Not only better runners, but better people. Our world needs that right now. Our world needs love. It needs compassion. Thanks for listening. Again, I really do. I love you guys. I appreciate your time. I hope you'll write your own letter, and I hope you'll share that. If you'll tag me, tag MR Running Pains. All right, guys, go on your dash. I'm here with my son and my daughter, Keegan and Ambrin. I'm going to pass the mic to them. They can tell you a little bit about themselves. Ambrin, do you want to start? How old are you?
9.
9 years old. And when did you start running?
When I was about 2.
When you were, as soon as you could. That's when you started running. And you have done, what's the longest you've run?
I think a 5K.
5K. Have you run further with Mom?
Probably.
And what's your best time in a 5K right now?
Probably about 28 minutes.
28?
Mm-hmm.
Did you do 26 one time?
I think I did, but I can't remember.
I think you did 26 at one of the $5 5Ks. Yeah. So that's my first speedster. My second speedster is my son, Keegan.
Hi, everyone. I'm 13 years old, and I've ran 9 miles as the longest run I've ran. But right now, I run in cross country 2 miles, and I've ran 11 minutes flat.
And what about 5K? What's your best 5K?
For my 5K time, I'm 18:30, 18:15.
Yeah,
It's low 18s.
Low 18s. We'll call it there. Yeah. And how about the mile?
For the mile, I was looking to break 5 minutes this year, but since the track season got canceled and I got injured this year, that hasn't happened.
Right, yeah. Corona has postponed a few things. What did it postpone for you, Amberin?
It postponed for me Healthy Kids.
Right, and what distance do you usually run in Healthy Kids? Do you remember?
The 2.5 miles? Wait, no. A half mile?
Right, the half mile. And who did you want to race this year?
With the boys.
That's right. She wanted to race the boys because she wanted more competition. I love that. We live here in Mills River, North Carolina, and we've got some great places to run. We usually take the kids out. How many times a week do we go out?
1.
I used to run like every day with my dad. My dad runs every day. 1 day a week maybe, rest day. But right now I'm running every other day because I'm getting off injury.
Right, yeah. Keegan was injured at the beginning of the track season. He had plantar fasciitis and severs, so he was in a boot for 4 weeks.
For 3 weeks, and then I started walking.
Right, but we got him back to running. So Amberin's been healthy. She's been jumping in the river, which is freezing cold. I went in with her twice, I think, and it's really cold. But you want to tell us about that?
Sure. I usually go across the river to a little rocky place and come back. And when I get used to it, it's like barely cold to me.
It's like an ice bath. But these guys have been all over the place with me, and we've gone to some pretty cool places. Keegan, what's your favorite place that we've traveled to?
Oh, France. Chamonix, France. For sure. The mountains there, like, they just look so pointy. It was super steep there. It was just beautiful all over. Right on.
How about you, Bryn? What was your favorite?
Italy.
Do you like Courmayeur? Is that the aid station you liked, or did you like it when we went there for dinner?
When we went there for dinner.
We went to the town of Aosta, and we had dinner at a mom and pop Italian. And what did you have?
I think I had spaghetti and meatballs.
Perfect. Do you remember what you had?
I had ravioli.
It was pretty amazing. Authentic, Italian restaurant.
My favorite part about when I went to that restaurant was when I fell asleep.
Well, that was in Switzerland. When we got there, you guys fell asleep right away. We were across from Lake Geneva, and we just got an overnight flight. So those were your two favorite. What was your second favorite?
Can I say another part of the Europe trip?
Okay, we can keep talking about Chamonix. So, obviously, they're talking about UTMB when we went over to France last year.
I liked it was the first aid station you could family could be there and treat the runners, and I got to see Paul Capella, the winner of the race, come running through the aid station, and Tim Tollefson, Timothy Olsen, and all the elite runners,
which was pretty cool for him. And that was it Saint Gervais? I think was the aid station. It's just it was a really cool town. It had the church was all lit up, and we ran right through Main Street. And the aid station was kind of we came into town. We did like a U, and came back to the aid station. And I got to see these guys, and everybody was pumped up. Everybody was screaming. That was pretty awesome. And then these guys took the bus. Right? You want to talk about the bus, Bryn?
Sure. I liked the bus because the seats could go back, but when they couldn't, some of us could, so we would switch places.
The bus was only cool at night when I could sleep.
Keegan was so out of it by the end of things. My wife could barely wake him up. He was so tired. These guys were total troopers that he was out there for 30 plus hours. So,
Yeah.
They were great.
I was not happy.
No. Well, we were all happy when I finished. That's for sure. Yeah. So yeah, Chamonix, Italy, Switzerland. That was a pretty amazing trip. Anything else we want to say about that trip?
The orange juice was just really good. It was fresh.
Yes.
It's amazing. The bakeries,
Almost
the
every
croissants.
day we would get chocolate ice cream.
Gelato, right? Yep. Yeah, we've been talking a lot about that recently, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We'd love to go back. So
Yeah, Chamonix was like a really cool running town. There was so many shops. There was like a Patagonia, Columbia, Solomon, and just so
Asics.
many just pure running shops. Yeah. Like there's an ASICS shop. Like it just featured the Xavier Tevenar, the winner of the previous UTMB. It was sick.
It was pretty awesome. Yeah. So that was a great trip. What else?
I got a stuffed animal bear that had a little Chamonix scarf on it, and it was so cute. It was a Saint Bernard.
Oh, the dog. Yeah, Saint Bernard dog. Because Saint Bernards were, they were native to that region. That's right. And then what would be our second favorite trip? Would you guys say it's?
I liked Wyoming.
Okay.
New York, Middletown's always really fun.
Bryn was talking about when we went to Bighorn, and Bighorn was pretty cool because what was up high? What did we see that was still up high?
Clouds?
The mountain goats.
And snow, right? It was still snow in June.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy.
And we gotta like put the seats back in the car and just sleep in the car.
We had a third row
It was pretty
seats for
great.
these guys. We rented a vehicle.
I liked to sleep in it.
So yeah, the Bighorn that was another great adventure. We got to go to see Yellowstone and Jackson Hole. We got to play around in Jackson Hole. That was pretty sweet. What about Canada?
Canada
I was
was
surprised you guys didn't say anything about Canada.
I
forgot.
remember Canada because I got another stuffed animal there, and it had a little Canada sweatshirt. Yeah.
I was fun. Like, we would talk with the family of the winner, and we would just talk about Tour de France because one of them had, they were spectators of the Tour de France, so that was pretty cool to talk about. And then there's this bouncy castle that had boxing in it. Never had that in the U.S., so that was pretty special. And then we got to see our dad come to the finish line second place, which was pretty awesome.
So we're talking about the Canadian death race. What was Daddy his worst fear in that race? Do you remember?
Losing his coin.
Yeah, losing my coin. Yes, I couldn't wait to get rid of that coin.
You can't pass the river if you don't have the coin.
My worst fear of that was when we saw all the pictures, and there was a guy like in a mask that would let you go across the river.
The Grim Reaper.
Yeah, the Grim Reaper. That guy freaked me out.
He took my coin so I could get across the river. There's a glacial river that you can't cross without a boat, and so you had to have your coin to give to the token men to get across. And they took us across this glacial river on these jet boats, which was pretty awesome. That was a pretty amazing. I saw you guys at, I think it was aid station 4, and right after that is where I saw the mom grizzly and the cubs. And let's see, I think I saw you guys. Yeah, I saw you one more time before the finish. On that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like, you came to the aid station and then you ran out back, and then we saw you at the finish line right before dark.
Yeah, that's pretty neat because you come out of the woods right into the town, and all I had to do was run up basically one street, and you guys were at the end of that street, and we kind of ran in together and finished. That was a pretty neat. I was surprised you guys didn't say Canada was number 2. I thought that was pretty cool.
I forgot about it. Like, it was in 2016. There was also like this kids 5K.
Mm-hmm.
I got like, what place did I get in that race? Second?
You were
third.
But you were only like
Yeah.
9 years old.
Yeah, I got a little token.
You got a coin just like I got.
Yeah, I got a coin just like he got, like that he had to turn in, but you got it back at the end of the race, right?
Oh, they gave me another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. And it has this neat little compartment for storing it.
Yeah.
So that was awesome.
Yeah. What do you want to say, Bryn?
Where was the place that we saw the glacier?
That was up in Canada. Yeah. After the race, we drove north to where do we go? To Canmore. Yeah, we went to Canmore, and we saw Lake Louise and all that.
Was that the place where they had that really fun water slide?
Water slide.
Wasn't that
the indoor water slide? Yeah. That was
pretty great.
That was pretty awesome. That was pretty cool. Do you guys remember your first time crewing for me? Let's see. Yeah, that was. No, there was one before that. No, you're right. That was.
Yeah, because like you gave me a whole speech about like
that's right.
how you would look out there.
Yeah,
not to be worried.
Not to be worried that I might look pretty haggard and beat up. I might even cry, but don't worry about me. I'll get to the finish. They were fantastic, and I had a great day out there. I didn't look haggard or beat up.
Which race was it when you got frostbite?
Wasn't that Hellgate?
That was Hellgate. Yeah, so that was the second one you guys crewed for. Yeah, that was the second one you guys crewed for.
There was water you had to cross.
Yeah, so I got 6 toes got frostbite in that race because I crossed the creek at mile 3 and didn't change my socks, and it got too cold up on the parkway.
Yeah, it was even cold for us.
Yeah.
I can't imagine what it was like for you.
These guys made it just before I started. Do you remember what time it started?
At midnight?
Yep, it started at midnight, and they were troopers. They were up on the parkway waiting for me. I think there was only like maybe 2 aid stations where you guys had fallen asleep and were asleep while I passed by. But
there was one aid station that Keegan and Mom was at. Well, I was in the car sleeping. I passed it.
Yeah. Like one of the most memorable races that I had of him was Eastern States, where like he had a rough day, but like he kept on going, which was remarkable.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorites too. I came in with vision problems. Everything was shaky and spinning on me. I felt like I had vertigo, and Ambryn looked up at me and told me that she wanted to see me finish just like I did in Canada. And we broke out my hiking poles, and it was a long adventure, but we made it in the end, didn't we?
Yep.
Yep, Eastern States. That was a great memory. It was a tough night.
I remember that one. I was in the trunk saying, "Finish it!"
Yes. Yep.
Took some salt pills and like kept on going.
Yep. Yeah. The volunteers wrote me. They thought I was done at that aid station. They had written me off, and they were glad when they saw my name in the results. So that was pretty cool. So obviously, these guys have been a big part of my running, and we'll continue to share our adventures. Keegan's obviously into knowing the who's who and what gear to wear. What's your favorite pair of shoes right now?
Solomon S Lab Firm Grounds. They're fast.
Yeah, you got him the day before the Cradle to Grave 10K, right?
Oh yeah, and then I just muddied them up, nice and dirty.
Yep, he did great, and that was his first 10K, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, he did great. It was pouring rain and it was soaking wet, but you got second, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a young college lad that beat him, but you did fantastic.
I remember that one where it was all rainy, and I got a squirrel stuffed animal, and it was so big and cute and fuzzy.
There's a theme here about the races we go to. Okay, Solomon's. How about you, Bryn? What's your favorite shoes?
She's into Nikes.
Oh yeah, I like Nikes. I have like 1, 2, 3. Then I have another. Wait, no. I think I only have 3 Nikes of the same pair.
Yeah, they're just different colors. Well, 2 are the same color and 1's a different color. What about your New Balance trail shoes? Do you like those?
Oh yeah, I really like those ones.
So Ambryn's still in the children's sizes, and she has a pair of New Balance trail and some Nike road shoes. that she wears. What about for road for you, Kay? What's your favorite?
My road shoes?
Yeah.
I like the Convaras when I had them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they just had a snappy feel.
Yep.
They were light and fast. Right now I'm wearing the Nike Zoom Fly 3s.
Yep.
Which are surprisingly light, like based on how thick the bottom of the shoes are.
Yep. So these guys have worn tested a lot of shoes. It's pretty fun to watch. So maybe my next gear review, Keegan can pop in and do a little bit with me. But anything else to add today?
Right after we did when I got them,
Mm-hmm.
What race was that again?
For the shoes?
Cradle to Grave?
Yeah, the Solomons?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Cradle to Grave.
Right after Cradle to Grave, I did campground to the top of Mitchell.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I ran from
Black Mountain
Campground all the way to the top of Mitchell with my dad when he did a long run, like about 30 miles that day. That was also really fun. Like, we took an unexpected turn that took us like 4 miles longer.
Yeah.
So it made it more adventurous and fun.
That was fun. We'll talk about that adventure on another episode. I want to thank these guys. Amber, you got anything else you want to say?
I don't know. Oh, remember when we were in Canada and we were going to see the glacier and we saw a grizzly bear right next to our car?
Absolutely. He was eating berries. Yeah, we got to see some pretty cool wildlife. We got some pretty fun stories.